This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself.
Today we have a Frigidaire gallery washing machine that won't agitate and it won't spin, and a lot of times what causes this is a bad motor control board, and they're pretty easy to replace. So I've got it now filling. I'm going to see how it does on Agitate. It seems to fill up with water correctly, but then it just sits there and doesn't spin the basket. Sometimes this can be caused by a bad door lock too. Door lock's usually a little bit cheaper, but in this case, since we don't have agitation and we don't have spin, my guess is it's probably the motor control board. So to fix that, I'm going to remove these two Phillips head screws from the bottom panel, right and left, and then I'll pull that panel off, and then I'll make sure the machine's unplugged, and I'm going to go ahead and reach in and remove a couple of Phillips head screws that are holding in the motor control board. It's located in the right side near the back. I'm going to use these diagonal pliers, these snips, to cut a couple of zip ties that are holding the wires together. Got to be careful that we don't actually cut one of the wires. Just want to remove the zip tie. There's one here on the right, and there's one to the left that's closer to the motor, and I want to get both of those to release. And then I can take out the two Phillips head screws that are holding in the motor control board. You can also do this by coming in from the back. It's a little bit easier, but sometimes it's hard to move a washing machine, so to do it from the front is good to know. I'm going to use a Phillips head screwdriver. This one's at an angle. You could just use a small screwdriver and do this by hand too. You don't have to use a motorized one. But I'm going to get my angle driver right above that Phillips head screw and zip it out, and then I'll do the one in the back, and then I can actually take the whole speed control out toward the front. I'm just pulling it out underneath the tub. It has two modular connectors that are really easy to disconnect. The wire's long enough where you can actually get it out and do it pretty easily. Here's the new one. It's the circuit board, but it doesn't come with the plastic outside frame, which is okay because it's really easy to use the old frame. So I'm just going to test this out. I'm going to take out the new one, and I'm going to remove these two modular connectors from the old one, hook it up to the new one. I'm going to make sure that the circuit board is not able to contact any metal. I'm going to insulate it just as a test, and then I'll plug it back in and I'll set it for Agitate because it's full of water right now, and see if it starts to move the motor. Just got it plugged back in, I'm going to pull it, see what happens. There we go, we got motor function. So it was the motor control board, and now what I want to do, set it for spin and see if it's going to spin it okay too. So I'll turn on the spin function. It's going to drain out all the water, and it's starting to do its spin. A lot of different companies sell these motor control boards and get a lot of different prices. I think there are some that will rebuild them for you too for $150. So it's picking up speed. Just shifted to high speed, so that definitely cured it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off and unplug it, and then I'll take these modular connectors off of the new board. I'm going to remove the old board from its plastic cover. There's two little clips here that I'm just going to pull away, and then I'm going to push in from underneath the circuit board. Bring it up and then slide it out. Here's the new one. I'm going to put it into these grooves here. So we want to put the circuit board into this new frame, but if you look at it, there's little grooves it fits into on the one side. I think the old circuit board may have just failed, there we go, due to old age. Or it could be that I got overloaded and popped the fuse. Now we're going to push in on the circuit board here until it clicks. There we go. We're all lined up. Alright. And then put the modular connector in here. Make sure it locks in on these two tabs. The other one, put it over as far in as it'll go. That's it. And then we're just going to put it back in, get it vertical, put the screws back in here to hold it. The old one, some of these have like very obvious fuses that blow. I'm not sure with this one. It might, sometimes you can see burn marks. These guys look pretty toasty right here. These little diodes or transistors probably got cooked. Sometimes you can see burn marks on the backside too. That one looks like it got overheated. Looks like that might be part of a heat sink. Yeah. So it probably got overheated. Might have been used to wash like a blanket or something, bathroom mat, something too heavy, and it just couldn't do it on the spin and burned out the motor controller. So these are really well suited for clothing and sheets and towels, but bigger things like comforters and bathroom mats, blankets can burn out some of these components. They're really not designed to take that kind of load. Something's got to give. So putting that back into position, and we're just going to add those two little screws back in there. There's one of them. These two guys. Put this wire harness back into the zip tie just to get it off of the. We're just trying to get it off. So now we're just going to put in the lower panel. We're going to put it back into its two index points at the top, and we'll add those two Phillips head screws back in. And you want to kind of lift up on the panel underneath while you put the Phillips head screws back into position. Here we are testing again for spin. Got the lock light on, got the spin setting. It's gradually picking up speed. And there we go, high-speed spin. So that did the trick. Hopefully this will help you too with your Frigidaire gallery washing machine. Really good machines. And thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe when you get a chance.